Hi, I'm calling this class Flow Yoga for Cranky Shoulders. So if you have any particular yoga injury, shoulder injury, and or some kind of shoulder pain, as always, you should be going to see someone about that, like a doctor, physiotherapist, that kind of person. If you just feel a little bit uncomfortable, maybe you've been sat at your desk all day, kind of typing, you've been doing that a lot, or you do a lot of vinyasa or flow yoga, and some of the repetitive motions that we do in that discipline, they're starting to get a little bit uncomfortable. Maybe the reaching arms overhead, maybe the kind of lowering down from plank, those type of actions, then this might be just a slightly different way of approaching some of those postures that will feel good in your shoulders. So there will be times when we'll be in postures that you might be familiar with. For example, maybe warrior one, you're used to doing that with arms reaching up, and I might be giving you different arm positions. If you prefer to do arms reaching up, you are welcome. When we're going through our vinyasas and I'm telling you to do it a certain way, if maybe one or two times you want to mix in another way, you are welcome to do that. But I would encourage you to give some of my variations a go, otherwise you're kind of missing what I'm trying to get you for you in this class. Okay, so we're going to need a brick. So if you've got a yoga block, great. If not, something like a thick book, that would do the job. Have that just kind of nearby. And then let's start lying down on your back. And I want you to get into a particular arm position, which if you actually come to class with me, you might be familiar with. If not, you might just want to peek at what I'm doing because it's kind of an odd position. So I'm lying down with my knees bent, and then I'm going to take my elbows out at shoulder height and start with my forearms pointing up to the ceiling. So only my upper arms are on the floor, my forearms aren't. And then see if you can kind of snuggle any more of your upper back into contact with the floor. So when I take my arms like this, what they want to do is my elbows kind of press down because they're used to working hard, and it makes my chest lift up. See if you can almost do the opposite. Let arms just rest where they are, and then let your upper back kind of smush down into the floor. So just relax the front side of your rib cage down towards spine. Okay, we're about to start moving your upper arms around. When they start to move, there'll probably be one particular motion that you would be able to move your arms further if you let your shoulders hike up away from the floor. I want you to prioritize shoulders resting on the floor and not how far your upper arms move. So keep your arms in contact with the floor as they are, but start to swivel your upper arms so that the backs of your hands travel towards the floor and your fingers are pointing towards the head end of your mat. So for some of you, the backs of your hands will now rest on the floor, and for some people, they don't. That's not anything to do with being good or bad at yoga or anything else. It's just how different people's shoulders are put together. So just notice how far your arms go. And then let's come back up to where we started and start to go the other way so that your palms start traveling towards the floor. So this is the point where I could get my palms much closer to the floor if I let my shoulders hike up. But instead, prioritizing keeping shoulder blades in contact with the floor, and my forearms are just kind of sticking out at an angle. Okay, let's move between those two positions. As you inhale, take backs of hands towards floor. As you exhale, take palms towards floor. Inhale, backs of hands towards floor. Exhale, palms towards floor. Okay, so the certain action I want us to be working with in your shoulders this morning, your doctor or like a physio, an osteopath, they would call it external rotation in your shoulders. So next time you end up with your palms facing the floor, pause like that and just feel how that feels. So for me, it's almost kind of like an awkward position. Makes my shoulders want to lift up a bit. So this is internal rotation at your shoulders, the way your arm bones have swiveled at your shoulder sockets to take your forearms to where they are. Now let's go to the other extreme, either backs of hands near or on the floor. And feel how this feels in comparison. So does it feel like maybe your shoulders are dropped away from your ears compared to where we were before? Maybe shoulders are a bit more in contact with the floor. Maybe it feels like your chest has lifted a bit. So if the backs of your hands don't touch the floor, that's normal. But I want you to keep asking them to travel in that direction. So we're switching on the muscles that are creating this motion in your body. If your backs of your hands do rest on the floor, now just a bit, press them down. See if you feel anything switching on around the back of your shoulders. So this is our main target area for this morning. If you don't worry, because we've got another way to try and feel it. We've got plenty of other ways. Take an inhale into your chest. As you exhale, relax your arms. And let's make your way to all fours. Grab your block or your book or whatever prop you're using. If you haven't got any of those things, you could just interlink your fingers. So rather than being on hands and knees, let's come to elbows and knees. And then I'm just going to pick up so you can see how I'm holding my block. I want you to hold the block like this. If you're used to ever using a block as a prop for, say, forearm stand, where you kind of have it like that, or like this, where you're not really gripping, that's not it. I want you to actually hold it, like we weren't in yoga class, and you're just holding onto something. So elbows kind of just underneath shoulders. Then walk your knees back a little step. Pick the block up off the floor. So your elbows are still resting down, but the block's lifted. Grip the block and then start to try and pull it apart. So your right hand is trying to pull the block towards the right side of the room, and your left hand is trying to pull it towards the left side of the room. And see if you feel anything switching on around shoulders, upper arms, anywhere else. If this is starting to get a bit much in your lower back, try drawing your belly in. Just take a moment like that. And then bring block down. Pause for a sec. You might give your shoulders a wiggle. So if that felt like plenty of work, then we're just going to do the same thing again. If you feel like you could work a little bit more, or you want a bit more sensation in shoulders, then come back to where we started. So everyone start there. And then if you want to try something different, walk your knees just back a little bit further. So your forearms are going gradually, your upper arms are going more and more overhead alongside your ears. With your hands, grip the block. And then again, try and pull it apart. So if you walk your knees back and you're like, oh my God, this is way harder than last time, it's because of the change of angle in your upper arm. Okay. And now I want you to try and not let your hands come together. They might want to come together. Stay as you are, but just drop the block. Turn your palms to face the top of your head. So your thumbs are pointing out. And now try and take your hands wider apart from each other. Okay, and rest. If you're like, oh, that was quite a lot. That's how it felt in my body too. Don't worry. So I want us to just try and get some stuff fired up around backside of shoulders, that external rotating action going on in your arms. Because when you spend a lot of time typing, your arm bones, upper arm bones rotate in a little bit. That's what's getting to your computer keyboard. If you do a lot of flow yoga, there's a lot of pushing in plank, in downward dog. It's easy to get front side of shoulders strong. It's less easy to get back side of shoulders strong. So this class is trying to redress some of that balance. Okay. So put your block to one side, come back to all fours. Just set your hands how you normally would for hands and knees. And then look at your hands. Which of your fingers is pointing most directly to the front edge of your mat? So is it your middle fingers? Is it your index fingers? Is it ring fingers? Or maybe it's slightly different on each hand. That would be okay too. Then just a little bit, I want you to turn both of your hands to point out slightly. So what I just did on the floor was go from my middle fingers were pointing to the front of my mat. I've turned my hands just a little bit, so index fingers are pointing forwards. So this slightly rotated out placement of hands is going to tend to rotate my upper arm bones out. Now with your fingertips, grip the floor. Look at your hands. Now with your right hand, I want you to try and twist the mat just a bit clockwise, but ask for that turn to come not just from your hand, but from right all the way up your arm bone to your shoulder. And then now keep going with that with right hand. Look at your left hand, grip fingertips. Left hand is trying to turn anti-clockwise. So your hands are almost trying to twist the mat in two opposite directions. Okay, great. Take a breath in like that. As you breathe out, lower down to lie on your front. Okay. Reach your arms back alongside you. Start with your palms facing in by your sides. So like your thumbs are resting on the floor, and you might be able to feel your bum or your legs on the skin on your palms. Lift your arms, legs, and chest up to locust pose. It doesn't have to be a high one because we're going to be here for a moment. First of all, this first round, what I want you to think about is drawing your shoulders away from your ears and then also squeezing your shoulder blades together a bit. Notice what you feel in your upper back when you do that. And then next time you exhale, relax, lower down. You might maybe rest your forehead on your hands. You might turn your face to one side, let your shoulders relax, take a couple of slow breaths. You don't need to, but if you ever happen to look at the camera when I'm saying rest and I'm propped up, it's just so my microphone doesn't rustle on the floor. Okay, let's do that same thing again. Reach your arms back alongside you. Palms face in. Lift up, arms, legs, chest, locust pose. Draw your shoulder blades away from your ears. Squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other on your back. Check that you're starting with your palms facing in. That's super key, because otherwise where we go next won't be quite what I'm after. Then slowly start to turn your palms to face the floor and just keep on trying to turn your arms that same way. So for some of you, your palms will stop facing the floor, and for some of you, your palms will turn to face out. Both of those are just normal and fine. See if you feel extra work kicking in around the backs of your shoulders. And then on your next exhale, release, lower down. Again, you can rest forehead on hands, or you might turn your face to the other side. Okay. And then plant your hands underneath your shoulders. Push up to all fours. Set your hands that just very slightly turned out more than normal position. With your fingertips grip, imagine right hand's trying to turn clockwise, left hand's trying to turn anti-clockwise. You could stay doing that in all fours, or you could tuck your toes under and send your hips up to downward facing dog and try and maintain it. My left shoulder's feeling a bit cranky in arm overhead position, so I'm going to stick in all fours rather than downward dog. Take a breath in wherever you're at. Then as you breathe out, let's step your feet to your hands, standing forward fold. Okay. So first of all, just let your arms dangle. And then remember how we were working your shoulders in locust pose? I want us to add that work into when we lift halfway up from this folded position. So first of all, lift halfway up to standing. So I want you to pull your chest way forwards and up. If you're used to doing this with fingertips on the floor, then instead of doing it that way, for today, slide your fingers up your shin. So you're like near or at your knees. So we're looking for maybe a little bit of inward curve in lower back. If that gets a bit much, try drawing belly in more strongly. Now reach your arms back alongside you, palms face in. Shoulders draw away from your ears. And then shoulder blades squeeze together on your back. Great. Take an inhale like that. Exhale, fold down towards legs. Just dangle there for a breath or two. And then we're going to build on that again, the same way as we did in locust. Start to pull your chest forwards and up. Lift torso halfway up to standing. Shrug your shoulders away from your ears. Squeeze shoulder blades towards each other. Start with arms reaching back alongside your bum. So not mega high, just kind of down hip level. Start with palms facing in. And then start to turn your palms to face the floor and just keep on trying to turn them. So the way my arm bones fit together, My palms turn to face all the way out. If you're stuck facing the floor, that's normal too. Take a breath in like that. Breath out, fold down towards legs. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. You might reach up to ceiling if you want to. On an exhale, bring palms together, thumbs to chest. Okay, so for today, just when I give you the cue to reach your arms overhead, I want us to be doing it a slightly different way. So instead of arms straight up, think about taking your elbows out wide, this kind of cactus or sort of goalpost position. So my elbows are going back and my hands are going back. So that's going to tend to switch on the back of your shoulders and lift your chest up. Okay, if you forget a couple of times and you just revert to arm overhead, that's okay too. So stand in the front of your mat. Let's start to build some breathing up. Inhale, let's go for it. Elbows wide, hands and elbows go back. Exhale, fold down towards legs. Just like we just practiced, inhale, lift halfway, so shoulders away from ears, maybe palms face floor. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come up to stand, take elbows wide, cactus position again. Exhale, palms together, thumbs to chest. 2 more of those. Inhale, elbows out, cactus. Exhale, fold down towards legs. Inhale, halfway lift, shoulders away from ears. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up, cactus position, hands go back. Exhale, hands to prayer, thumbs to chest. 1 more of those. Inhale, elbows wide. Exhale, fold down towards legs. Inhale, halfway lift, maybe palms face floor. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come up, cactus position, elbows and hands go back. Exhale, palms together, thumbs to chest. Let's move on from that. Inhale, cactus position. So add in lunges this time. Exhale, fold down towards legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your right foot back to a lunge. Drop that knee down to the floor. Inhale, cactus position, elbows wide. Exhale, hands down, plank or all fours, your choice. Inhale there. Exhale, lower down to lie on your front. So body one straight line. Reach your arms back alongside you, palms face in. Inhale, locust pose, maybe swivel palms to floor. Exhale, hands under shoulders, all fours or downward facing dog. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, step your right foot forwards, back knee down if it wasn't already. Inhale, arms cactus position. Exhale, step forwards and fold at the front of your mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold down towards legs. Inhale, come up, arms to cactus, elbows wide. Exhale, palms together, thumbs to chest. Same thing, other side. Inhale, elbows wide. Exhale, fold down towards legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step left foot back. Drop that knee down to the floor. Inhale, elbows wide, cactus again. Exhale, hands down, plank or all fours. Inhale there, draw belly in. Keep that feeling strong. Exhale, lower forwards and down without sticking your bum up. Reach your arms back alongside you, palms face floor. Inhale, locust pose, shoulders away from ears. Exhale, hands under shoulders, down dog or hands and knees. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, step your left foot forwards, back knee down. Inhale, elbows wide, cactus. Exhale, step forwards and fold at the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Shoulders away from ears. Exhale, refold. Inhale, come all the way up. Elbows cactus position. Exhale, palms together, thumbs to chest. Let's do 1 more set of lunges. Inhale, elbows wide. Exhale, fold down towards legs. Inhale, halfway lift, shoulders away from ears. Exhale, step right foot back, right knee down to floor. Inhale, lift chest, elbows wide again. Exhale, hands down, plank or all fours. Inhale here, belly strong. Exhale, drop knees, lower down without sticking bum up. Maybe cobra pose this time. Inhale, chest pulls forwards, shoulder blades away from ears. Exhale, downward facing dog, or all fours, your preference. Inhale, lift your right leg up and back behind you. Exhale, step it forwards, back knee down if it's not already. Inhale, elbows wide. Exhale, step forwards and fold at the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, just like we practiced, chest pulls forwards and up. Exhale, fold down towards legs. Inhale, come all the way up, elbows, cactus, lift chest. Exhale, palms together, thumbs to chest. One more side. Inhale, elbows wide. Exhale, fold down towards legs. Inhale, halfway lift, shoulders away from ears. Exhale, left foot back, left knee down to floor. Inhale, elbows wide, chest lifts up. Exhale, hands down, plank or all fours. Inhale there, belly super strong, squeeze your bum. Keep doing both of those things. Exhale, knees down, lower to floor. Cobra pose, inhale, hands drag back towards you, shoulders away from ears. Exhale, down dog or all fours, your preference. Inhale, lift your left leg up and back. Exhale, step that foot forwards, back knee down if it's not already. Inhale, lift chest, arms cactus position. Exhale, hands press, step forwards and fold. Inhale, lift halfway, shoulders away from ears, palms face floor. Exhale, refold. Inhale, come up, lift chest, arms cactus, hands go back. Exhale, palms together, thumbs to chest. Really nice. Let's move on. Inhale, elbows wide. Exhale, fold down towards legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, downward facing dog, or all fours. You could stay there, or next time you inhale, let's shift to plank. Exhale, drop your knees, not knees, chest, chin. Exhale, lower down, one straight line. Reach your arms back alongside you, palms face floor. Inhale, locust pose, shoulders away from ears. Exhale, all fours or downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up and back. Exhale, step it forwards, lunge, back knee up or down this time, your choice. On an inhale, bring yourself up, bring your hands to prayer. Okay, and breathe slow. So first time in like 5 or 10 minutes, we've kind of come to a pause. Can you keep your breath steady and consistent, even though now I'm going to hold you in this lunge and talk for a bit? Okay, let's bring your arms down by your side and then bend your elbows like you are holding like a tray of drinks. So I'm going to turn towards you because it's easier to see what I'm doing with my arms when I'm facing you. Draw your shoulder blades down your back. Squeeze your elbows in by your side. So for some of you, your elbows will touch, and for some of you, there'll be a gap. Both of those are okay. Just shoulders drawing down, elbows squeezing in. Don't let your elbows get any further away from your sides. Imagine there's like an elastic band or a kind of skipping rope between your hands. Grip it, and then start to rotate your upper arms so that you're stretching that imaginary band, almost like with your thumbs, you're trying to point back behind you. You would be able to go further if your elbows went wider. Resist that. My arms don't go all the way out to the side. So we're going to come in and out of this position. Take a breath in here. As you breathe out, bring forearms parallel again. Keep shoulder blades drawing down. Inhale, hands go wide. Yes, exhale, forearm parallel. Great, one more time. Inhale, elbows wide. So if you feel shoulder blades squeeze a bit. Exhale, forearms parallel. Inhale, hands go wide. Yes, different this time. As you exhale, put your hands down to the floor. Step back, all fours or downward facing dog. So you could stay in your downward dog or all fours. You come down for a break if you like. So child's pose, maybe take a seat, grab a drink of water. If you want to flow, go through that plank, lower down, back bend, back to down dog that we did before. Fine. There's loads of different variations that you can do of that. That lowering down with knees down, keeping belly strong, so bum not sticking up, and then locust pose. That's kind of building on the shoulder stuff we're doing today. If every so often you want to chuck in a chaturanga or an up dog, you are welcome to. Okay, let's do a lunge on the other side. From all fours or down dog, inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, step your foot forwards, lunge, back knee up or down. Inhale, come up with hands to breath. Okay, great. Once you're feeling steady, bring arms down by your side. Same setup as we started with last time. Draw your shoulder blades down. Bend your elbows, squeeze your elbows in. Grip that imaginary resistance band between your hands. Take an inhale. As you exhale, swivel your upper arms so that your hands travel apart from each other. And this time, I just want you to pause there. So last time we were going in and out of this shape. This time, we're increasing the amount of time that these muscles that are working in your shoulders and your upper body are having to stay switching on. So for your next couple of breaths, each time you breathe out, see if you can maybe take your hands a degree or two further. Yes, one more inhale where you're at. Exhale, hands down. All fours, or down dog, or rest, or flow. My shoulders are wanting a bit of a break from flow at the moment, so I'm just going to minimize the number of vinyasas I'm doing. When you're ready to move on, we'll go from all fours or down dog. Inhale, lift your right leg. Exhale, step it forwards, warrior two. So back toes turn out. Inhale, come up, arms reach out, shoulder height. Okay, so once you're kind of settled in, start to think about your arms. Slowly turn your palms to face up, not by just turning your hands. If you haven't done this with me before, check out your screen for a second. Turn your palms to face up by turning right from upper arm bones and shoulder sockets. So you're really exaggerating that action. Yes. And then just the tiniest amount, bend your elbows. Actively draw your shoulder blades down your back and towards each other. See if you can keep that feeling as you re-extend your arms. Okay, nice. Feel how that feels in your shoulders. Next time you inhale, straighten your front leg. Exhale, reach front hand past your tiptoes, triangle pose. Front hand down, maybe knee, shin, ankle block. Other arm can reach up to ceiling. This is a bit much on your top shoulder. Put your hand on your hip. If it feels okay, arm reach up, go for it. Now remember what we just did with your shoulders in warrior two. Let's try and recreate that here. So both of your shoulder blades, try and slide them down your back away from your ears. Notice if that makes in particular your bottom arm want to bend. Can you keep arms straight, but just isolate that motion at your shoulders? Okay, perfect. On an inhale, come back up, warrior two. Arms reach out. Exhale, hands cartwheel down to front foot, downward facing dog, or all fours. So hold where you are. If you're going to flow, keep belly strong, squeeze bum, lower down one straight line. Maybe locust pose, arms reach back, palms face floor. Inhale, lift up. Let's get nose to nose with the dog. Exhale, hands down, all fours or down dog. Inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, step it forwards, warrior two. Back toes turn out. Inhale, come up. Okay, great. So same thing, not just spiraling from wrists. Turn your palms to face up by turning your upper arms, your biceps, your inner elbows to turn up towards the ceiling. This time without bending your elbows. Can you just ask shoulder blades to draw down your back and towards each other? Consider, where do you feel this the most? Is it like a feeling of stretch across front side of chest, arms, armpits? Is it a feeling of work around the back? Is it both or neither? On an inhale, straighten front leg. Exhale, reach with your front hand, triangle pose. Front hand drops down, just wherever it lands on that leg. Mine's kind of mid-shin. Other arm reaches up to ceiling. Okay. Without bending your elbows, they'll probably want to bend. Shrug. Let's think about bottom shoulder first of all. Look down towards your bottom hand and ask that shoulder to slide away from your ear. Then either look to side of room or up to top hand. Can that top shoulder slide away from ear? Yeah, great. On an inhale, come back up, warrior two. Exhale, hands down by front foot, all fours, or down dog, or flow, or take a break. I'm just going to grab a drink of water. Just a few slow breaths to yourself. When you're ready to shift on again, either all fours or downward dog. Inhale, lift your right leg. Exhale, step it forwards, warrior one. So back toes turn out just a little bit. Inhale, come up with hands to prayer. Great. Take a breath in here. As you breathe out, bring your arms down by your side. Turn your palms to face forwards and actively draw your shoulder blades down your back away from your ears. So it's like your upper body thinks it's doing locust pose, but your lower body is at the same time doing warrior one. Keep this feeling around your shoulders and your chest. Take an inhale. As you exhale, tilt forwards over front leg. Inhale, swivel onto tiptoes, back foot. Keep that feeling in upper body. Exhale, shift forwards, warrior three. Okay, warrior three with arms in locust pose. So your shoulders are drawing away from your ears, shoulder blades are squeezing towards each other, palms are facing floor. Okay, stay as you are, but bend your top knee, bring your heel towards your bum. Keep your heel that close to your bum as the rest of you comes upright. Okay, if your shoulders need just a wiggle for a moment, give them a wiggle. And then we'll set your arms back in that locust position. So arms by side, shoulder blades, not just resting, actively drawing down. Turn your palms to face forwards. Now we're going to do a version of dancer pose where you don't hold your foot, so backs of your shoulders have to work on their own to lift your arms. Inhale, lift chest. Exhale, take your shoulders away from ears and then hands and foot go up and back behind you. Yes, one more breath in here. Breath out, arms, leg, maybe ears go back. Inhale where you're at. Exhale, both feet down. It's kind of stronger for legs, that one too. Great. Inhale, take elbows wide, cactus position. Exhale, fold down towards legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, all fours or downward facing dog. Hold there. Come down, take a rest for a moment if you like, or if you want to flow, inhale, let's meet in plank. Belly strong, squeeze bum. Exhale, drop knees, lower down to lie on your front. Reach your arms back alongside you, palms face floor. Inhale, locust pose. Exhale, all fours or down dog if you prefer. Inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, step it forwards, warrior one. So back toes turn out a little. Inhale, come up, hands to prayer. Exhale, bring arms down by side. Turn palms to face forwards. Inhale, draw shoulder blades down, chest lifts up. Keep that feeling. Exhale, just tilt forwards. Inhale, swivel to tiptoes, back foot. Exhale, warrior three with arms in locust pose. So don't think drop your chest to lift your leg higher. Prioritize upper body. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. Pull collarbones forwards and up. And then simply bend your top knee, bring heel towards bum, and slowly bring yourself upright. Pause for a moment here, just a slow breath or two. Then as you inhale, lift and broaden collarbones. Palms either face forwards or maybe turn a little bit out. Breath in, breath out. Leg goes up and back. Yes, inhale, lift chest. Exhale, arms and leg lift. One more time, inhale. Exhale, both feet down. Nice, everyone. Inhale, elbows wide, cactus position. Exhale, fold down towards legs. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, refold. Inhale, come all the way up. Take elbows wide, cactus. Exhale, palms together, thumbs to chest. Okay, So we did a version of dancer pose where you weren't holding your foot. So leg had to hold itself, arms had to hold themselves in position. Now we're going to do a version, you can either do the same one again, or we're going to do a version holding your foot. I want you to hold it in a really specific way because it's working that outward rotation of upper arms that we've been working on today. So start with hands to prayer. Shift your weight onto your right foot. Bend your left knee. Drop your left hand down by your side so your palm's facing in. And then turn your palm to face out. So your thumb's pointing back towards your heel. Slide your hand back to the inside of your foot and catch hold of it. Great. So your palm was facing out before you grabbed your foot. You haven't like spiraled your arm in to grab your foot. Either reach other arm forwards and up, or if arm overhead is kind of cranky for shoulder, you could go hand on hip, you could reach straight forwards. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, just start to kick your leg up and back. Maybe inhale, pause, find balance. Exhale, kick a little higher. Yes, hold where you are one more time, breath in. Breath out, leg kicks up and back. Inhale here if you're still with me. Exhale, release. Both feet down, arms by side. Just take a moment, be still. Slow inhale. Slow exhale. Then let's do the same thing on the other leg. So I'm just going to swivel around so you can see that leg of mine more easily. Hands to prayer. Shift weight to left foot. Bend your right knee. Bring your heel towards your bum. Bring right hand down with palm facing in, just like it's dangling. And then turn your palm to face forwards and then out. Reach back, catch hold of the inside of your foot. Great. Other arm can reach forwards and up. You could put it on your hip if you prefer. I'm going to go hand on hip. Inhale, lift your chest, stand tall. Exhale, kick your leg up and back behind you. Yes, 1 or 2 more breaths, just as you are. And then when you're ready, release. Great. Give your shoulders a wiggle. So we've got one more set of kind of standing warrior type postures. That reaching back, holding outside, and then also maybe holding inside a foot. We're going to add that into our last set of poses and then come down. You may want your block for this round. So standing at the front of your mat if you're not there already. Inhale, take arms to cactus position, elbows and hands go back. Exhale, fold down towards legs. Inhale, lift halfway, shoulders away from ears, give shoulder blades a squeeze. Exhale, all fours or downward facing dog. Hold where you are if you like. Come down, take a break if you want. If you want to flow, as you're lowering down, maybe let's drop knees, lower down one straight line. Locust pose, palms face floor, shoulder blades squeeze. Exhale, all fours. You could go down dog if you prefer. Inhale, lift your right leg. Exhale, step it forwards, warrior 2. Back toes turn out. Inhale, come up. Okay, this time without turning your palms to face up. Just remember last time we were in warrior 2. Can you shrug your shoulders down your back that same way as we practiced last time? Great. Take a breath in here. As you breathe out, bend your front arm, prop it on your front thigh. Side angle pose. You could reach arm up to ceiling. You could take your arm alongside your ear if you like. If you're here because arms overhead is uncomfy, maybe reach up to ceiling or put hand on hip. Okay, that bottom arm that you're leaning on, rather than slouching into that shoulder, can you shrug your shoulder down your back so your arm is pushing your leg away from you? Okay, as you inhale, if it's not already, put your top hand on your top hip. Exhale, shorten your stride. So step your back foot way closer to front foot. Find your block if you want it. Inhale, step bottom hand forwards of your little toe. As you exhale, lean weight onto front foot, half moon pose, back leg lifts up. Okay, so first of all, that arm that you're leaning on, let's shrug that shoulder away from your ear. You could stay as you are, just extending top leg and maybe reaching top arm up or reaching or hand on hip. Alternatively, you could reach back, turn your palm to face the ceiling, catch hold of the inside of your foot and kick your leg up and back. If you're like, it doesn't feel like my arm is long enough, then maybe just extend leg, lift it high. Great, take an inhale wherever you are. Ditch the block if you're using it. Exhale, step back, warrior two. Perfect. Inhale, arms reach out. Exhale, hands down, hands and knees, or downward dog. Come down, take a couple of breaths. Stillness if you like. You could go through a little flow if you prefer. We'll do the same stuff on the other side. Inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, step it forwards, warrior two. So last time warrior two, back toes turn out. Inhale, come up. As you exhale, actively shrug your shoulder blades down your back. Take an inhale here. Exhale, prop front arm on front thigh, side angle pose, other hand either to hip or reach to ceiling, or take arm alongside ear if you like. If you don't prefer that, arm to ceiling, that's maybe the one I'm going to choose on this side. With your bottom arm, push your leg away from you. So try and slide that shoulder blade away from your ear. Okay, nice. Then on an inhale, put top hand, top hip if it's not there already. Exhale, shorten stride. Find your block if you're going to use it. Inhale, step it a little forwards of little toe. Exhale, lean onto it. Lift back leg. Half moon pose. Either just bottom shoulder shrugs away from ears, top leg lifts up, or bend your top knee, bring heel towards bum. You could reach back, you catch the outside of your foot if you like, that's good work. Or you could turn your palm to face up, catch hold of the inside of your foot. That's that rotation in arm we're working with. If you're holding your foot, kick it up and back. If you're not, just lift your leg high. Either way, take a breath in. As you breathe out, release. Step top foot down, back of mat, warrior two. Great. Inhale, arms reach out. Exhale, hands down. All fours, or down dog, or rest. Just take a couple of breaths to yourself, whether you're choosing to move or be still. And then when you're ready to move on, either from hands and knees or downward dog, step your right foot forwards, back knee down onto the floor, probably hands on inside of front foot, maybe wiggle your back knee back until it stops. If your back knee ever likes padding between it and the floor, this is maybe one of those times you might want to grab a blanket or something, put it underneath your back knee. Okay. Then, you're going to keep your left hand on the floor. But to turn your chest to the right, so you're turning towards your front leg and reach your your right arm towards the back of your mat. I'm going to swivel around so you can see what I'm doing from a different angle as well. So probably, maybe, that arm that you're reaching back, your palms facing the right side of the room, your bottom arm push the floor away, and then with that top hand, start to turn your palm to face the ceiling. But again, don't just turn from wrist. Think about turning from your upper arm. See if you can feel maybe something around the back of your right shoulder blade. Switch on. So for some of you, you'll be trying to turn your palm to face up. For others of you, it might be like you can almost turn your little finger to point up to the ceiling. Mine turns up not because of any proficiency in yoga or anything like that. It's just the way my arm bones fit together. And then let's release that. Step back, all fours. Step other foot forwards. So lunge other side. Left foot forwards, hands to inside of foot. Stride kind of long. Pad back knee if it wants padding. Right hand stays on the floor. You could be on knuckles or fingertips or palm. Turn your chest towards your front leg. Reach your left arm back. So first of all, you're showing the left side of the room, your palm. Then start to turn that palm to face up. Think about turning your bicep, the inside of your elbow, to point up to the ceiling. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, release. Nice. Step back to all fours. Draw your belly button in strong. Squeeze your bum, almost think cat pose, and then keep all of that engagement around your center as you bend your elbows and lower down to the floor. Reach your arms back alongside you, palms face in. Inhale, lift up, locust pose. Shoulders away from ears. Exhale, lower down, maybe turn face to one side, rest. If you need any rest inspiration, you can look at the king of relaxation that I've got here as my assistant today. Let's do the same thing again, but different for shoulders. Reach your arms back alongside you, palms face in. Lift arms, legs, chest, shoulders away from ears. Then turn palms to face floor. Keep on turning your arms that way. Inhale like that. Exhale, lower down. Maybe turn face to other side. Breathe into your back. So we're going to do either two more postures like that. If you decide that you're done at any point, just lie down in your front. If that's not restful, you can swivel over onto back. Reach your arms back alongside you, palms face in. Lift up, locust pose. Stay like that, or bend your knees. Either stay like that or just reach back, catch hold of the outsides of your feet so palms are still facing in. If you just grabbed your feet, you could kick them up and back. If you didn't, you're still just reaching back. Either way, inhale. Exhale, release. So if you're just resting your forehead on your hands each time, that works. If you're turning face to one side, maybe each time we come down, you just switch. And then either stay resting or last time, reach arms alongside you, palms face in. Lift up. Bend knees. Either don't catch your feet, but just turn palms to face floor. Or catch your feet and then swivel the heel of your hand around your toes so that now your palms are facing out. Feel how that's pushing your feet apart with your feet push in against your hands and then kick up and back. And then release. Rest. Breathe slow. And when you're ready, make your way onto your back. If you think you're going to want to put on any extra layers before we lie still, or you're going to want any extra stuff like blanket, cushion, etc. before we lie still, now's the time for them. Clothes can go on, props could just be handy. So lie down with your knees bent. If you take your right arm out to that cactus position, your arm comfortably rests on the floor, then maybe let's go for that. If it doesn't, if you're kind of stuck more like this position, then just start to straighten your arm until your hand lands on the floor. So it might be that you end up with arm out at shoulder height instead of cactus. Either way is going to work well. Just make sure it feels restful for that arm. Straighten your left leg. Bring your right knee into your chest. Okay, so normally, I bet you've probably done this before, you'd put your left palm on that knee and take your leg across. For today, I want us to place that top hand just a little bit differently. Instead of palm, just flip that hand over and put the back of your hand on the outside of your right knee. Use the back of your hand to guide your knee over into a twist. Okay. So your right shoulder is trying to relax down onto the floor. With the back of your left hand, press down into your leg, but ask for that pressure to come from right up by your shoulder. With your leg, resist. So your arm and your leg are pressing against each other. Leg is giving something for arm to work against. Take an inhale. Exhale, release. Let's switch sides. So maybe left arm cactus position or out wide. Your preference. Right leg straight. Left knee in. Right hand on that knee. And then instead of your palm, flip it over so the back of your hand is resting on your knee. And gently take that knee across. With your right arm, so not coming from just right wrist. Imagine this generates from right up at your shoulder. From your right shoulder, use your right hand to try and press your top leg down. But with your leg, resist and push back up. Take an inhale. Exhale, untwist. Choose a position where you can be still for a couple of minutes. So I'm going to choose lying with knees bent and knees knocked in. Choose how you want your arms. If cactus is restful, you could go there. If you like arms out wide, that's nice too. You could have arms by side, maybe hands on belly. You might want to lie with legs straight. You might prefer sitting up, seated meditation. Take a long, slow inhale. And lengthen your exhale. Notice whether you can feel your shoulders. Is there some specific sensation you can sense, or you just kind of know that they're there? Notice how your neck and shoulders feel next time you inhale. Try and relax them as you exhale. Is there any tension you can let go of around your jaw? Around your eyes? Your forehead? How about that point right in between your eyebrows? Did that soften at all? Notice also that you can feel yourself breathing. If you want to stay here a little longer, you are, of course, welcome to. If you just have this increment of time set aside for practice today, then maybe take a couple of deeper breaths. You're ready. If you are lying on your back, let's make your way to hugging your knees into your chest. And then whatever position you're in, just gently make your way up to sit. You don't have to sit like me unless it's your preference. You might want to sit on your block or cushion. Take your fingertips down to floor. If your fingers touch the floor, fine. If they don't, just reach them down. Start with your palms facing in. And then turn palms to face forwards and almost try and turn them out a little bit. Draw your shoulder blades down your back and towards each other. But notice if that's made a big inward curve in lower back. Now just let lower ribs relax in. You could keep your hands like that or bring palms together to finish if you prefer. Either way, let's take one more inhale together. Exhale, drop your chin. Thank you very much.